So, today I will be arguing whether or not social media is ethical. I will be discussing the positive impacts it presents, and then I will be weighing the positives with the negatives that I see, determining whether or not it is ethical in the sense of morality. So, beginning with the positive impacts that social media offers, it serves as an outlet for artists and musicians, and it is a great tool for companies and startup organizations to try and get their name out there, or entrepreneurs, whatever it may be. Somebody can go on Instagram and make an account, and then they can go follow a bunch of people who they think would like their product, buy into their product, share their product, whatever. They can grow their following that way. It allows for long distance families and friends to keep in touch and up to date with what is going on in one another's lives. In some cases, social media can serve to create new relationships, whether that's business, friendship, romantic relationships through like dating apps or whatever it may be. But if it's gone about in the correct way, social media is a hub for entertainment, and that's important, obviously, especially in a time like we're in right now during a pandemic when everybody's in quarantine. People need to stay occupied enough to stay inside. And social media obviously offers a whole bunch of different entertainment outlets. It's also a way to broadcast an online portfolio, for whether that's for like future employers or, if you're just trying to make different social connections, whatever that may be. It's a great way to broadcast who you are, what you're into, the people you like, what you like to do, whatever that may be. But going off of all of those positive aspects of social media, I feel like with every one positive thing there's kind of two negatives that go hand in hand with that. So the negative impacts of social media that I see, going back to Instagram, it has a detrimental effect on people with eating disorders. A kid might, or like a preteen or teenager, whatever it may be, they might see a picture of a hot Australian swimsuit model or whatever that they never would have known existed if it weren't for that social media platform, however they see it. And they might go look at their page, whatever, and they might be like, okay, so this person's doing that, and this is what's popular, and this is all that I'm seeing. So this must be how I'm supposed to look, what I'm supposed to wear, who I'm supposed to be hanging out with, where I'm supposed to be at a certain point in my life. And that can just have an awful effect on eating disorders. That can also spark depression, that can start anxiety, whatever. Also, looking at like Snapchat and also Instagram, everybody posts when they are looking good, feeling good, when they're doing something fun or something they want to brag about or just show people, whatever. Nobody's going to get on Snapchat on like a day in quarantine, whatever, and when they're not looking good and like post a video of them doing nothing, not having a great day. But like everybody's social media is just a highlight reel. And starting with kids, they don't understand that is just like a highlight reel. And even in adults, it's hard to differentiate. It's hard to look at somebody's Instagram page of them having a great time and be like, okay, well, they're not always like that, like whatever. It's just hard to remember that not everybody is always like that 24/7. So all of those platforms kind of just work to plant a seed. Okay, this is how I'm supposed to look. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, all that kind of stuff. And it just can lead to so many different mental disorders. And since social media has been mainstream, the suicide rates have drastically increased. Also, looking at YouTube and TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, we've all seen like the cancel culture take place on those platforms. And while that is normally circulating around like celebrities or whatever that may be, the cancel culture is extremely toxic. Somebody might wear one thing, say one thing, do one thing, whatever, and then everybody is expected to jump on them and essentially cancel them. And while, that's usually only circulates around like social media, celebrities, whatever, there is another term for cancel culture that like goes about in our everyday lives, and that's cyberbullying, attacking people on the internet because you have no remorse when you're hiding behind a screen and you can say whatever you want because you're not looking that person in the eye, and that's just an extremely toxic way of going about anything. Also, going back to entertainment, while it's a great way to keep occupied in a time like this or whatever, when somebody's bored, it's a great way to stay occupied, it can have absolutely like detrimental effects on everyone's communication skills, their communication abilities. It's so important to develop lasting and strong relationships, and because everybody has become so accustomed to hiding behind a screen and being able to say whatever they want and communicating through a keyboard, kids are, these following generations, they're losing like crucial communication skills. And if all of those skills are just lost in translation behind screens or whatever, there's going to be absolutely no communication in the world, like face-to-face interaction. There's going to be terrible relationships with no foundation behind them. There's going to be no compassion in the world, whatever. And like I mentioned earlier, while there are clear positive impacts that social media presents, for every one positive, I see that there are at least 2 negative effects that come hand in hand with it. Because of the overwhelmingly negative outcomes that social media presents, I find that it is clear that social media is slowly but surely chipping away at crucial human interaction and morals, which serve as a foundation for humanity. With that being said, I feel it is clear that the excessive amount of social media that is offered today is not ethical, but rather detrimental to society.